No, I think just starting out that I give a ton of credit to Denver. I thought their game plan defensively, they executed it well, and it was clear they were trying to take away Josh and Brandon's threes more so than anybody else, and they were effective in that, and they kind of went away from how they had been playing defense all season and were switching 1 through 5 basically. And so I think for us as a staff going forward, I think we have to know that we're probably going to see switching every single night from here on out. But at the end of the day, the defensive end of the floor, we weren't as good as we needed to be. And I give them credit again. With Zane Nelson played a great game. He was great. 32, only had 7 points, but I thought he affected the game, especially from a rebounding standpoint for them too. So it's a ton of credit to them. And like I told our guys, the only thing that matters now is how you respond from here.
For you, it's your first loss as head coach. What do you take from a loss like this forward into the next game?
Yeah, they suck. But yeah, I think it's part of basketball. It's the beauty of sports, right? You're one shot away from that shot goes in. I'm feeling probably still feeling a little bit the same, but you're feeling different about it. And how do you handle that? And I think the biggest thing for us going forward is understanding that we did have some really good defensive possessions that time, but at the end of the day, it's the consistency of doing it over and over again, and we just got to take a step in that direction.
Did you like the look that you got off at the end?
Yeah, I thought we probably could have sold it a little bit more on the fake back screen, but I thought they executed it well. Like in terms of even getting the ball to half court, we'd been working on that all the time. It was ironic. We went in the huddle and said that that's what we've been doing. Like we did that on Tuesday. Like literally did that exact scenario of going to our cross play, going to Laker, and getting the shot. And so I can't. I'm not going to complain too often about Josh Pasquarelli getting the 3 off.
Defensively, obviously, that's the thing you guys have been talking about needing to improve. Is there an element of maybe, offense has been so good that guys can, maybe think, well, we can get back, that type of thing? Almost complacency.
Yeah.
That's not the right word, but
yeah,
in that vein.
No, I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I hope not. But that will not be the message that comes out of this. But we've had stretches where we have been good defensively in certain moments and whatnot, but defense is just consistency and habits over and over again, and our consistency and our habits aren't where they need to be right now for the type of team that I think we can become. But they want to. I think they see it, and this film will help us. And we told the guys you lost to UC Riverside last year in overtime by 8 at the end of the day, I think. So the only thing that matters is how you respond from here. But yeah, we know that's the side of the floor that's got to grow and get better.
Is it like connectivity? What are the things that are kind of jumping out when the defense does slide?
Yeah, connectivity. I think our activity on the ball as well. For us to only cause 4 turnovers, our main goal was to have 12 deflections by halftime, and I don't know if we had 12 for the game. So the activity on the ball has to pick up, and then general physicality. Like we're getting hit by screens way too often, and you saw it tonight. I thought Johnson got going a little bit every time we got hit by a screen. So we got to get better at that. And honestly, as a staff, we have to get better at that, of holding them accountable to the standards that we need to play at.
You talked about Josh and Brandon, kind of getting limited around the perimeter. It seemed like they were kind of effective in limiting the bench too. Is there anything more you would have liked to see from them?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough for Augie. I think the biggest thing for Augie is just the silly fouls, like the over the back one. Just can't get that one. Like you're always going to get one foul that you shouldn't get, and then if you play physical enough, you're going to get 2 fouls. So just assume you're starting with 2 fouls to start the game, and so you got to be smart about how you go about it. So that was more with Augie. It was more just his foul trouble took him out of the game, which was unfortunate, especially in a game where you're drawing that many fouls, and he draws fouls better than anybody, and also makes his free throws. So not being able to play him was tough, and then. It was a little different having Rashawn in there. That changed the game and changed the rotations too. So I don't know if it was them taking our bench out of the game as much as I think that was more on me of them switching 1 through 5 and probably not giving them enough of a game plan going into that, even though they hadn't shown that.
Did you like how the guys adjusted offensively? Like obviously this wasn't your guys' optimal pace. It's not the style how you typically play. But you guys did a lot of getting to the rim, getting to the line.
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't really stop Jorgensen in the booth.
No, and that's what like when you switch 1 through 5, you're going to be able to do that, right? And I thought absolutely, no, I agree with you. I thought from halftime on they did adjust well offensively. In the first half, it took them a minute to adjust to it, and that it was going to, because they hadn't shown that yet, so we didn't really practice that as much. But I was proud of the way they adjusted offensively in the second half, and I mean, we gave ourselves a chance to win, and it's a great learning situation for us also, because there was a couple empty possessions late in the game that we probably settled for some things that we didn't have to, but that's part of the early season. Like, you have growing pains. I'd rather win through these growing pains, but this is part of it.
What did you learn from that process last year? I mean, obviously you've been in basketball a long time, but just going from 5-5 to a tournament team, and how can you convey that to this group?
Yeah, I just think and I told them in there, like, we're not gonna change how we approach tomorrow or the next day. Like, the whole thing was, this is only game 5. We were gonna have to grow and get better. We're not a finished product right now. So whether we won or lost the game, it's about continual growth. And this team's always bought into that, and it's probably gonna be a little easier for them to buy into it after a loss. But yeah, that's all you can do, is worry about your response and how you approach the next practice, how you approach the next day. And there's some guys that are hurting in there right now, and that's normal, and that's this team, and they're competitive. So they're not going to feel great after this game, and hopefully that ignites them going into practice on Sunday.
You ever seen a fan toss before?
No. Yeah, that was yeah, no. I had not seen that, and I guess it was for gambling or something. But yeah.
Right now going to the Bahamas here in a few days.
Not good right now, but it's exciting though. Like, you want to play in those events. You want to get those opportunities to play against some of the better teams in the country. We get to go play Virginia Tech right out the gate, and then play 2 storied programs, either Wichita State or St. Mary's after that. So that's why you sign up for these events, is you get to go play on ESPN, and you get to go play in front of a good crowd, and also get the experience for your guys to connect even more in a new environment that they've never been in.
You've worked with guys before that, have that ability to take over in the second half. Jorgensen certainly did that on offense tonight. I mean, I guess, what is it like, being head coach and having a player like that right now?
Yeah, Kyle's been great, and I think that goes back to what Justin kind of asked. Is I thought they executed the game plan in the second half offensively when we had to adjust, because we weren't ready for them switching 1 through 5, and so our adjustment to that, and then our teammate and his teammates also finding him for those catches, because it wasn't Kyle just getting isolations and going to work. It was our guys having to find him, space off each other, and find open looks for him. And because most of it was in the post, he got some of the pick and pop threes too. But Kyle did a great job of finding those openings and getting catches, because that's the biggest thing when you switching. It's more about just getting the catch. And he did a phenomenal job of it. And his teammates did a great job of finding him too.
I guess, is it encouraging to see that his teammates kind of have that trust in him at this early in the season? Yeah,
absolutely. And I don't know why you wouldn't at this point, but I sure have trust in him, and I think all of them have trust in each other though. And it's shown. Like, this wasn't a high assist night, but to be honest, when you shoot 44 free throws, you're probably not going to have a bunch of assists. So I was proud of the way they responded in the second half offensively, but we got to keep growing defensively on the other side of the floor.
Do you think keeping doubt out of the locker room in the practice gym is important in that way of we trust each other?
Yeah, absolutely, and we talked about that. Like, it's stay connected. It's one game out of this is our 5th game of the season. We got 27 left. So it's you got to stay connected, and it's a great test for us. Like, will we stay connected? But knowing this group and who they are, like, I have no doubt in how they'll respond when we come back to practice.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.